Good day, everyone, and welcome to the Mag Show. Today, we are going to be talking about the future of military first-person shooters and where it's going. And God willing, is there going to finally be some competition for Call of Duty? Please, Lord. Either way, let's get into this. I got to see about 15 to 16 minutes of the new Battlefield 6. And what I got to see there was the rush mode specifically. Now, the rush mode, if anybody's not familiar with Battlefield, what that is you have a large group of players on one side, and what they're doing is they're attacking a location. Now, what happens is you have the other large group of players that are going to be defending that same location. So that's what's going on there. What I got to see, you could do that with vehicles, on foot, or otherwise, planes, all that kind of jazz. So you get in there. What I got to see is I got to see some on-foot footage. I know it sounds silly. And that looked fantastic. Graphics, as always with Battlefield, look amazing. The character animations looked really good. The guns looked punchy. They sounded punchy. There's not really much I could say about that. I mean, it just looks like more Battlefield, just really, really good. I got to see some in-tank footage. Now, the in-tank footage was a little bit more interesting because that was highlighting the environmental destruction that they are bringing back properly in this game, from what we understand. The funny thing is that it really hasn't been done the same since Bad Company 2, which came out damn near a decade and a half ago, and that game still has some of the best environmental destruction I've seen in a first-person shooter. But anyways, what's happening here, you got the tank rolling around, shooting stuff, blowing up walls, you're seeing chunks of concrete rolling down the street, a lot of dust, a lot of everything else, and it looks incredibly realistic as a result. However, what I did also see is that the tank was also hitting walls, and nothing happened. And I'm talking about like the tank would just go and then boom, and then all you see was a cloud of dust. But it is still in a closed playtest right now, so it is nowhere near finished. So, you know, I wanted to pump the brakes and not get too excited about it and say, hey, look at that, they're not doing as well. But it is what it is. Right now, it's in an early playtest, a closed playtest. Now, the thing is, though, it's also leaking worse than the Titanic. So I'm getting all kinds of information. I'm getting screenshots. I'm getting videos. I'm getting everything coming out. Now, I wish I could show you this footage, but I also wish to keep my channel. I don't need EA breathing down my neck. But either way, looks like it's not going to release this year. I know some people are saying 2025. To me, that's ludicrous. It's already July, folks. Well, tomorrow's July. And so at that point, without even announcing it, I don't think so. What they did say, it was going to launch somewhere in the first or second quarter of 2026, which I also find interesting. We'll get into that in a second. I wouldn't launch it in the second quarter 2026 because second quarter 2026, we've got Grand Theft Auto 6. I understand that Grand Theft Auto and Battlefield are two different genres entirely. However, it doesn't make a difference because GTA 6 is going to take all the mind share, right? So it doesn't matter even if you have a racing game or a shooter or whatever, they're going to suffer as a result of GTA 6. My suggestion, my idea would be to launch it in the first quarter, a little bit further away from Resident Evil, because Resident Evil is another big title. I would put it somewhere around March or April. Funny enough, the heavily rumored date is March of 2026. Not confirmed, but that's heavily rumored right now. That I find a little bit interesting. So now let's look at the dynamic of what's going on with the first-person shooter genre and how I feel about it. So we've got, by the way, another one in the mix, another group throwing their hat in the ring. That would be the Delta Force game that's coming out. Now, it's already out on PC. It's been out for about 6 months, been reviewed, everything else, getting better over time. But it's also coming to consoles August 19th. So it's getting presumably a 2-month jump on Black Ops 7. It is also free to play. Now, this doesn't always bode well against a juggernaut like Call of Duty. You know how everybody says every time a shooter comes out, they're like, is this the Call of Duty killer? Is this the Call of Duty killer? Is this the Call of Duty killer? No, it's not, because Call of Duty's still there and Call of Duty is still rocking and it's still one of the biggest games on the planet. Now, I hope that this game does really well. This Delta Force game does really well. And I really, really hope that they put some proper shine on this game and really get it going, because Call of Duty, let's face it, needs a competitor. In my opinion, Call of Duty is getting so ridiculous now. Like, I don't want to play as Beavis and Butthead. I don't want to play as Cardi B in a thong with an M4 carbine machine gun with her ass cheeks hanging out. I don't need that in a military shooter. I know it's fun for Fortnite. You can run around as a banana. You can run around as Cheech and Chong. You want to be Darth Vader saying whatever the hell he's going to say. Go ahead and have fun in Fortnite. Keep it out of my Call of Duty. It's so stupid. It's getting ridiculous. Ninja Turtles running around. Like, who needs that? Like, I'm shooting somebody. They're like, we got 2 tangos on the roof. And all of a sudden, Michelangelo comes down with a pepperoni pizza. This is not Call of Duty. Right? And so I think that these other companies getting in there, like this Delta Force game, and of course, like Battlefield 6, maybe that will ground Call of Duty just a little bit and say, holy crap, we finally have some competition out there that's actually doing incredibly well, God willing. Once again, let's smarten up and let's make this a real military shooter once again, unlike what it's turning into, this ridiculous pink polka dot gun Fortnite nonsense. But either way, that's all I had to say about everything today. So we got the Delta Force game coming August 19th. You've got the Call of Duty Black Ops 7 coming out presumably around October, March. But the big news for today is the new footage I got to see of Battlefield 6, and it's looking fantastic. I think we should all be excited for it. And of course, Vince Zampella has got his grubby little fingers in that game, so I expect it to be even better. Anyways, everybody have yourself a wonderful day. We'll see you on XNC tonight. Stay magnificent.